American soaps are broke, and it's gotten to the point where it interferes with my enjoyment of the show. So many sets have been done away with or downsized. Way too many characters living in hotels because the only set we can afford is a room with a bed in it. The cast have shrunk so much over the years. More and more actors are being moved to recurring status to save money. We're constantly given these bare bones weddings that don't even begin to compare to the lavish weddings we got in the 80s and 90s.
Back in the old days when the show had a lot of money, we used to go on locations. Yeah. And it was actually Justin and Adrian's wedding that we went to Greece. Nowadays, that doesn't happen.
That Paris and Carter wedding was the most pathetic shit I've ever seen, and everyone should be ashamed. Carter and Paris don't have any more family and friends than this? Really? Bill wasn't even a friend. That time Ridge and Shauna went to Vegas, that green screen. Child. That time they had Bill and Wyatt visit a new restaurant. Whose closet did they film that in? And most of the scene was them bragging about the place? You gotta be kidding me. These are rich people. They should be eating at high-scale places, like they used to. Days of Our Lives showing us the docks and you don't see one boat or the water for that matter. Hospitals and other sets are empty as hell now because it's become normal for them not to hire extras as often as they used to. The Young and the Restless had a scene with Jack and Tracy watching Harrison play soccer or something with his other friends, but we didn't see him play at all, nor did we see the other friends. We're just watching Jack and Tracy cheer him on. How lame is that? Apparently, the Chancellor Park has all types of stuff that we just never see. Playgrounds, food vendors, ice cream people. Young and the Restless having courtroom dramas all off screen because it's not in the budget. Michael was kidnapped and locked in a foreign prison and he escaped all off screen because it's not in the budget. And can we talk about the Newman Ranch for a moment? Now, in one of my previous videos, someone left a comment bringing up the Newman Ranch and how it's like huge and stuff, but we never see it anymore. And it just made me think about a conversation that I had with my mom like years ago, maybe like in 2008, 10 or something like that. Around that time was when I really started watching The Young and the Restless with my mom. And she used to mention a lot that, oh, the Newman Ranch, it used to be huge. It used to have all this stuff. And I just be looking at her crazy because the show was not showing us that at all. You know, from my experience, I've never saw anything she was talking about. She talking about they had all these horses and stuff. I'm like, I don't see anything but this man's house. And then like in later episodes, you know, they would mention that the grandkids love to ride on the ponies. And I think they even had a stable at one point. I think Nikki and Sharon got into it at the stable, but that's it. That's all I saw. I didn't see anything as grandiose as my mom was describing.
Bessie, would you like some hay? Short
But then one day on YouTube, I was recommended a video, I think it was from the 80s, where Nikki was on a horse and she was riding on the ranch looking for Victor, and Victor was talking with Ashley, and that place was huge. It was a huge ranch, like my mom and that commenter said. And I was like, oh my God, we definitely don't see this anymore. Why? Let's shift over to Days of Our Lives in that Devil storyline. The new Devil storyline, not the one from the 90s. Now they had Doug Williams possessed by the devil himself, the ruler of demons, the king of hell. And they thought that the best way for the devil to demonstrate his power was to have the lights go on and off. Oh my God.
And we're still on the air.
I don't know. I say this all.
Now I know that Days is the brokest of all the soaps, but even that was just ridiculous. Come on now. But I mean, they tried to do stuff more, like when Marlena was possessed, and they were having the devil do these like Darth Vader chokes and stuff. Like, I can work with that a little more. And the fact that Marlena had, like, super strength and stuff, I can deal with that. You know, you're working with the budget. But still, I mean, Passions was on in, like, 2005, 6, 7. And they had a lot of magical stuff, too, because Passions had witches in it. And they had all different types of special effects going on in Passions. Now, they still look cheap on Passions. But it's a lot better than Days in 2021 having the lights flicker on and off. And that's supposed to mean demons are about. Come on now. Soap operas really shot themselves in the foot by making the focus around rich families. And I mean rich families. Millionaires, billionaires, all these rich people on screen, but they don't have any shelves, any maids, any security. I mean, we're always told that they have these things, but we never see them. I guess they're just invisible.
Not only is it enormous, it has every amenity under the sun. Like you said, what? Cooks, servants,
a movie theater, don't forget that.
It seems that the budget just took a nosedive in 2020. You know, I know they had to deal with everything with COVID and stuff, but the COVID restrictions are mostly lifted now, but I guess the budget didn't come back. I mean, compare any of the 4 American soaps to how they were just 10 years ago. Like, the budget was clearly better just 10 years ago. There was way more cast members. They did way more things. And yes, budget cuts have been happening to soap operas for decades now. Like, they've been taking the budget from these soaps for decades now. But it is really noticeable today. The shows are damn near stage plays at this point. The biggest problem in having a low budget is how it impacts the writing. Not just in hiring good writers, but in what can be written. Writers can come up with the best ideas, but then they are not feasible because of budget constraints. So the next time you ask, why doesn't the show do this or that, chances are it's because of budget. The only soap that doesn't let budget get in the way of the story it wants to tell seems to be Days. They find a way to make shit work over there, and I respect it. So why is the budget so low now? The ratings. The ratings have been steadily going down for years now, unfortunately. It sucks to say, but soap operas are just living on borrowed time. They're a relic of the past, and they're not nearly as popular as they used to be. I don't know if there's a way to make soap operas popular again, but there are things they could try. They could have guest celebrities come on the shows that people actually care about. Maybe have some of these social media influencers come on there for a guest star appearance. I don't know. Or more well-established actors of the past. I mean, I started watching Days because Jack A. Harry came on the show. Honestly, I just don't have the answer, but if you're going to continue to make these shows, you can at least give them a budget to make them decent. But to end on a positive note, the soaps have started their new seasons and some of them look a little better. Bold and the Beautiful especially. At the time of this recording, Taylor and Steffi have gone off to Aspen and it looks really nice. The place they're at, that looks really nice. That could be a budget increase or it could be a thing where, you know, some of the episodes were made really cheap so that they can splurge on certain other episodes like this. Like, oh, we had to cheapen the sets here so that we can have this episode where we can afford to shoot at this beautiful place. You know, I don't know, but I'm going to take my wins where I get them. If you've made it this far, do me a favor and check out my Passions video. Passions needs to be on Peacock. And if you feel the same way, show some love. All right, later you guys. Be blessed.